A school year unlike any other they've known. Staggered classes, mandatory hand sanitizing, and of course one vital piece of uniform, the face mask. But when the number of infections in any given area becomes overwhelming, they too are forced to close. Students then left at the mercy of their home circumstances, especially those from households where parents are still going out to work.
I'm a mother and I also have a job to do, so I'm worried about leaving my kid alone at home during the pandemic. I don't know if she will eat on time and study by herself. Staying at home alone without the company of her friends may also cause some psychological problems, and I feel sad about this.
With parents taking on the role of educators, juggling their work and teaching has left many fearing for their children's futures. Digital learning has taken over the classroom. But for those who have children with special learning needs, that can mean an extra expense on already strained household budgets.
I have a child who needs a special assistance. He has autism. He needs special assistance and special school. 1 day per week is not enough for him. He is in a 3rd grade. He doesn't know how to read, write or spell.
The economic fallout of the pandemic has had far-reaching consequences for children around the world. As well as losing out on their education, many are being forced prematurely into work in order to support families.
Every day when I come back home, my hands smell like gas. I take a shower, have a meal, sit with my father and then go to sleep. I go to work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. I work for 12 hours. I do not want the corona pandemic to affect my studies, as I want to finish them, to become a pilot and make my dream come true.
Educational experts predict that 10 million of the world's most vulnerable children will fail to return to school. And they're urging the international community to do all that is possible to prevent more lives from being disrupted and to get educators vaccinated faster so schools can open sooner rather than later.
The education community has understood much more the role that teachers play, which is not just the role of instruction and transmitting knowledge. It's the role as essentially leaders in their communities. And many teachers around the world have really done the most they could to keep in touch with the students, especially the most disadvantaged. And that's something we should be really cherishing.
The pandemic may have exposed the inequalities in education systems around the world, but also the role that educators have in students' lives, which goes beyond just teaching. Sonia Gallego, Al Jazeera.